Hey everyone, how's it going? Welcome back to another video here. So there's actually some pretty exciting news here, and it's regarding The Walking Dead Daryl Dixon's finale, I guess the final season, or I guess the series as a whole, and that is that tomorrow seems to be the final day for filming for the series. So I do want to talk about that and get into some stuff here with Andrew Lincoln and whether or not he could actually be in this episode, because, I mean, they're filming everything right now, and so if he's spotted on set or anything like that, obviously it's going to be pretty big news, and we should find out over the next couple of days, right? If there's nothing at all, then maybe that kind of hints that Andrew Lincoln, or I guess Rick Grimes, won't be in the finale, right? So anyways, before we go any further, make sure to be a subscriber if you do want to get all my Walking Dead content like this. Now, like I was saying, if Rick Grimes is going to be in the Daryl Dixon finale, it's possible that we could really see him at any point here in the next, 24 hours or so. They're going to be filming this tomorrow. And so, I mean, there's obviously a time difference as well. So it'll probably be a little bit earlier tomorrow. Basically, if Andrew Lincoln is going to be there on set at all, it's going to be something that we're likely going to find out, because everyone's sort of paying attention right now. And there's been a lot of talk about, I guess this show being done filming right away. I've been seeing some posts from Romain Levy. There's a couple of other actors and whatnot that are actually they're done filming and everything now. So, because Norman Reedus is still filming, and it looks like there's a couple of others that are actually going to be done filming, and we'll talk about that. I'm wondering if maybe there is something there that could actually happen, if Laurent is going to be on set, or any other characters, is that something we're going to see? And so it's kind of exciting, if Andrew Lincoln's going to be on set, and again, it could have happened today, or maybe they're waiting until tomorrow, or I don't know. I mean, that's the thing. If Andrew Lincoln's going to be on set, it's going to be one of those things that obviously they maybe, keep a secret. They're going to want to keep a secret. I don't think they're going to want to ruin that ending. And that's almost one of those reasons why I kind of think that maybe they'll wait, to reunite the characters, because to just do it in a finale episode where it's just a couple of minutes long or something, and there's not really any conversations happening between the two, I feel like it's just, it's just not really, I think, worth the moment that we've all been waiting for a very long time now. So I do think that if it does happen, it's going to be kind of underwhelming, depending on how they do it, obviously. So with filming wrapping up tomorrow, I think that it's going to be something that a lot of people are going to focus on, and apparently a lot of characters have actually wrapped up filming, like Justina, there's Cadron, there's Carol apparently has wrapped up filming. And so, there's things like that where I'm just then what is happening tomorrow? Is it the final scene that they're filming? I know sometimes it is out of order, not necessarily episodes in a season, though some shows will do that. Sometimes they'll film an episode out of order. They're not going to film it from the beginning of the episode to the end, right? So I don't know what's going to be done tomorrow. I will say it's a little weird that the final scene isn't going to be with Daryl and Carol. So I do have questions on does Carol stay behind? Is this going to be something where Daryl's on his way back to America, or something on his own? That would be kind of a crazy storyline, or a crazy ending for The Walking Dead if this was Carol's final season ever, and she was done. Could you imagine if Carol was just I'm staying here, I want to stay here with Antonio and all that, and then that's just sort of the end of that? I think that would be a bit too much. I mean, even though it would be kind of a crazy ending, and honestly, I might actually like the ending, because you're doing something very different with the characters, right? I also don't think it would be the end of Carol, because I think you could always bring her back in the future. But I mean, honestly, I kind of, now that I'm thinking about it, the ending could be kind of cool. It would be something very bittersweet, I guess, right? Because obviously, Carol went there to save Daryl, but then she ended up finding a place that she wants to stay. But then Daryl obviously wants to go back home. And so there's all of that. And Carol and Daryl are saying goodbye to each other. And just how would people respond to that, right? I'll probably do a video talking about this a bit more in depth, because I think that there's a lot more that we can discuss with this whole idea. But I do wonder what's going to be happening with the ending here, and whether or not Rick Grimes will be in the finale, because I feel like if it's going to happen at all, we're going to know in the next 24 hours. I haven't seen anything yet. When I'm looking at The Walking Dead's finale, the season 11 finale, I had no idea that Andrew Lincoln was going to be there in the finale, right? But the one thing about that you have to remember is I think they didn't like the ending to The Walking Dead, because the original ending was like all the characters, like the next generation, they were all grown up. And we've seen some deleted scenes of that here and there, but there's not really a lot out there. I just think that that's something that's just not really a thing, because they're going to go in a different direction, or they chose to go in a different direction. So they wanted to work on something else, and they filmed that ending later on that summer, right? So I think as much as, they will film things just like, I guess in secret, or to not really give away anything, like for the most part, I think, things are pretty much done within the schedule. And so I haven't seen anything with Andrew Lincoln on set. I mean, if you think about it, he's been doing that play for like the last couple of months. There was some talk, I guess, at the end of September or like early October, I can't remember exactly when it was, about, him having conversations about returning to The Walking Dead. And like, I just don't think a lot of that is going to mean that he's going to be returning in the next like day or two. But if it does mean that, I mean, obviously we will see something, I'm assuming, right? Like a lot of people are going to be watching to see, like, is this the end of Daryl and Carol, right? Like, it's kind of insane, but like if this was the end of these character stories, then like this would be it. Like Norman Reedus would be really emotional about this being like the ending of that story, right? So it's going to be a really crazy day tomorrow. Like it's the very end of this series. They're wrapping filming and everything. And so I'll do videos tomorrow talking about all of the celebrations and anything that we learn. We'll probably get like a first look teaser, or like at least images and stuff from the set or certain things, right? Because they are going to be wrapping filming tomorrow. So there's a lot to look forward to for tomorrow. So if Andrew Lincoln isn't there, like I was saying, then I think that it means that Rick could possibly, might not be in the finale, I guess. And at this point, I'm kind of assuming that he's not going to be in the finale. I think most people would like that, but you also don't know, right? Like it's one of those things where they could film it like maybe in London or something like that, right? Like they could film it in different locations. And so, yeah, I will just say, I'm excited for the final season here. I cannot wait for promotion to start. And so let's actually talk about that. So if they do finish filming tomorrow, which it does seem like they are, and I think that they will be done filming, when will promotion for the next season start? And, it's really interesting because both shows are currently filming. And so, Dead City, I think they're going to be going into the new year a little bit here, definitely into January, February or whatever for season 3. We'll see about season 4. There's a rumor of that season filming right after that, but I don't know about that. At this point, it's just kind of seems like season 3 is just going to be filmed. So we'll have to wait and see. But which show is going to be promoted first? Like, it does seem like with The Walking Dead right now, things are just going to be very quiet for the next couple of months. Like, I don't know for sure, like say The Walking Dead Daryl Dixon is the next show to air, and that is airing like next September. And so Dead City is held off until like the spring of 2027. That would mean that like they could be quiet with a lot of stuff for a very long time, like maybe until the spring or something, right? I don't think it'll go that long without any Walking Dead, promotion of any kind. Like, I think there will be announcements here and there of like this show or that. There'll be teasers. There'll be stuff that will come out. Like there's always stuff every couple of weeks kind of thing, whether or not it's like a teaser image or it's just like an interview done by one of the actors or like this and that, right? There's always something. But in terms of a first teaser trailer, like it really depends on the release dates for these shows. And I mean, maybe Dead City is held off until the end of 2026. Like I really don't know with that show. I think it would be honestly really insane if like there was no Walking Dead content at all throughout most of 2026 and like just 8 episodes of that show. Honestly, that would be very, very surprising and like very different than what AMC has done in like many years, really, right? Like pretty much since the Walking Dead season 1, because that was 6 episodes. So we'll have to wait and see what they do here. But I do think in terms of promoting this season and stuff like that, like it's not going to be that crazy because the season's probably not going to be out for another 10 months, 9 or 10 months, right? So they usually start 3 or 4 months beforehand. And so, in about 4 or 5 months, I could see, the trailer coming out. But like, also before that, there's going to be teasers and stuff and a lot of talk about things, right? Because you can't let things just completely die out entirely. And we'll have to wait and see, I guess, what their plan is here. But overall, I will say it's going to be kind of interesting to see what happens with filming tomorrow and just everything. Like, I'm really excited to see how a lot of it's going to play out because this is like the next series that is just going to be ending, right? Like, this series is going to be done. And I'm excited to see what that means, you know, for the future and having like Daryl and Rick reunite. And just, you know, it's kind of insane because like World Beyond was a 2-season series, that's done. Fear the Walking Dead was 8 seasons, that's done. And obviously The Walking Dead's done. Like, it's kind of crazy to look and see all of these shows that are just like, they had a beginning and an end. And this show here is about to have a beginning and an end. And it's just kind of insane to me because I feel like this show just started. Like, I know that, you know, the ending is not going to be happening for another, like, well, next year, right? I mean, honestly, they could have this show coming out in the spring or summer as well. Like, I don't know if they will do that, but they might mess with the release times a little bit because they might have this show come out in the spring maybe or summer, and then do Dead City in the fall, right? Just because of how the shows are filming and everything. Like, they could honestly change it up. Like, in terms of the ratings and all that, I think that honestly it should be totally fine to, you know, just kind of mess around with the shows and stuff and just have this show air at this time or like try something different kind of thing, right? So anyways, I'm gonna leave it here. Definitely post all your thoughts down below. Do you think Rick Grimes is going to be in the finale? And what do you think we're going to see in the final episode? Hope you all enjoyed the video, and I'll see you in the next one.